The next question is from Jacob Rowan.
Thank you, Tony. My question is for the panel. I proudly come from Woodridge and Logan City, where the unemployment rate is at 18%. It's about 3 times the state's average. Having recently myself been unemployed and having lived on New Start allowance for the first time, I've experienced firsthand the difficulty of surviving on such a small amount of money. After the state government's axing of the Skilling Queenslanders for Work program, funding cuts to Queensland TAFEs and flatlining employment growth in Queensland, what would members of the panel do to help empower people, Queenslanders from low socio-economic areas such as Woodridge, to find meaningful long-term employment?
Okay, Tim Nicholls.
Well, we think that the best thing that we can do is to get out of the way of the private sector employing people by reducing red tape, by supporting growth in the 4 pillars of the economy. Someone mentioned before agriculture and what we're doing about agriculture, and it's our aim to double the value of farm gate production. Bob,
half the farmers are out there shooting themselves.
Bob, it's easy to go around poisoning the wells. It's much harder to come up with a solution.
I'll give you the solutions.
That says,
okay, no, I'm not going to let you give the solution now.
That says the reality is we've got to look at what we can do to do it. So what do we do? Reduce the red tape,
can we go back
focus on the growth of those areas.
Can we go back to that young man's question? Just hang on for a second. How do you explain to people like Jacob that it's a good idea to cut jobs, training and skilling programs?
Well, what we've had to do is to deal with a growing and unmanageable state of debt in Queensland that would see businesses and people...
Rubbish.
Well, okay, all right, so I'm just going to go back to...
Tony,
come on.
No, hang on, everyone just... I'd say take a chill pill if I can. I just want to go back to our questioner and then we'll come back to you and then we'll hear the other panellists. Okay, so go back to our questioner.
I'm trying to answer him.
Days after you cut the Skilling Queenslanders for Work program, Deloitte Access Economics actually released a statement saying that it was going to... That program was on task to deliver billions of dollars worth of revenue to the Queensland state.
Well, what the Deloitte report said is that the Skilling for Queenslanders for Work program had measurable benefits to the people who took it on, and we don't dispute that. What we also had to deal with, though, was some very difficult decisions in terms of how we made the budget stack up, and one of those decisions arose around the Skilling for Queenslanders for Work program, and we took the decision, and we stand by that decision, that program is a program that is better delivered by the federal government and the support services that the federal government are doing. The other aspect of it is that we need to continue to be able to grow the economy, and we need to be able to do that so that you and others will have the opportunity for a long-term job. And the results of that have been that over the last 7 months, employment growth in Queensland has risen and unemployment has fallen. Okay, and those are the ABS figures.
Thank you. We've got at least 2 people on this panel trying to get... Okay, go ahead.
I wrote to the Premier of Queensland, who sent the letter to Mr Nicholls, he sent it back, offering to invest $10 billion in this state. I got our banks to write them and say we'd invest $10 billion in this state, and we didn't get a reply. These guys are not serious. They're about selling off your hospitals, your schools, to their mates that are lobbyists. That's what it's about. I didn't even get a reply. And that's why I left the LNP, because I didn't get a reply. I put $10 billion on the table to develop jobs in this state, because this is the state where I live, this is the country that I love, and these guys sacked 15,000 public servants, you know? Sacked them, right? And not only did they sack 15,000 public servants, ring up Ted Bailey, the Premier of Victoria, the former Premier, he'll tell you he had to get rid of 14,000 positions. He did it by natural attrition. He didn't make people's lives a misery. We had 5 suicides with union workers, and we had 1 girl that was in middle management in the health department, 38 years of age, having a baby that was premature. The government was so kind to deliver her termination while she's in postnatal depression. Is that what politics is about? Oh, I don't want it if it is.
Okay, I'm going to say, before we go...